Hello and welcome to video 4.4. In this video, we're going to talk about the web storage and how to save game data into the web storage. In the previous video, we've talked about adding touch events to the game. Now, we're going to focus more on the data side of the game and how to handle it. One of the elements to make a game more competitive is to add a high score. You'll be able to see if you improve through time by seeing every time you play the high score you received. Now, if we use a standard variable every time we refresh the game, the variable will reset. So in this case, we'll use the web storage. Web storage consists of local storage and session storage. Session storage is relevant only for this current session, meaning that if we refresh the game, the variables will reset. So it's of no use to us. So we'll use the local storage to save data in between sessions. So even though the user refreshes the browser, the data will still be there. So we're going to add the high score variable, which we'll use to hold the value which is available in the local storage during the game. So first of all, web storage isn't available in all browsers. So we'll add a small test to see if this browser actually supports it or not. If type of storage is not undefined, it means that we have local storage available. Otherwise, we don't. So if we don't have local storage available, then we'll just reset the high score. If we do have local storage available, we'll check the local storage and see if we have the high score variable. If we don't, then we'll initiate it with the 0 value, and we'll take the value in the local storage and we'll place it in the high score variable we created earlier. So in summary, we check if the high score variable exists in the local storage. If it doesn't, place 0. If it does, then we just add the value to the local high score variable. Now, if you recall, in the previous videos, we created the status line. The status line here states the score and the number of lives remaining. We want to add the high score as well. So in order to do that, we'll create a function called updateStatusLine, which will be the only function that handles these kind of updates. This way, we won't need to add it manually to each section like in the highlighted command. So we're going to take this command and we're going to add high score. And then we'll call this function every time we want it to update the score text. Now, one thing we didn't handle in the previous videos is what happens when the lives value equals 0, meaning that the game is actually over. So what we're going to do in this case is if the lives value equals 0, then we'll end the game. A new game will restart with a new number of lives and the score will reset. But at that point, we'll be able to check the score to see if we've reached a high score, and then update the local storage accordingly. So this will be done in the loseLife function. We're going to test if lives equals 0. Then, if the high score value which we have stored is smaller than the current score value of the user, then the new high score will be the current score, and the local storage high score will also be the current score. So in case the high score was 100 and the user's current score is 200, then the new high score is 200, and the high score value in the local storage should also be 200. In order to handle the fact that the game is over, lives equals 0, we're going to reset the numbers of lives to 3, and we're going to reset the score to 0, and of course we're going to update the status line so that it will display the new high score in case there is a new high score, the new number of lives, and the new score. Let's check the game. First of all, as you can see, we have the high score available here. My current high score is 0, and now we'll start playing. As you can see, I've lost once, lost twice, and now when I lose this life, then the score at that point will be the new high score. Let's play. So as you can see, I eliminated all of the lives I had. The game restarted, so we have score 0 and the number of lives is 3. But the high score was the score I reached in the previous game. Now let's see what happens if I play the game and I reach a lower score than 600. The high score remains 600. Congratulations! Now you know how to use web storage to hold game data. And with that, we've completed section 4. In this section, we focused on going further into the game logic and adding support for various input devices. And in the end, we've also discussed about saving data locally in between sessions, regardless of which device you use. In the next section, we're going to discuss about testing and debugging the game.